Good morning. Um, it's very early. I've really not spoken all day, and we are doing a live stream. Um, for anyone who might have school today, I want to do a stream just so that way um, you can join the stream before I need to go to school. So that's what we're doing right now. And as you can see from the title, we will be working on Sir Handel. Now, I did say in like one of the previous streams that I fixed the issues that I had when I was painting the roof, which would be accidentally painting a bit of the cab door, Morning Josh Productions. Not the cab door, the cab porthole, and a bit on the side. So the side still needs to be fixed up a bit, but it's definitely a whole lot better than it was yesterday. So today we're just going to be finishing up on the roof. And yesterday, the Fox Transfers lining came, and it is the perfect thickness for this model. I actually double-checked it with Scarloey, and it is the perfect width. So I will indeed be using this to measure for Scarloey. And instead of using the pictures that I got at Edison last year, because they were absolutely awful pictures, I will just be using the reference photos wonderfully provided by Thomas Tank Merch. I have the files somewhere here. They have a whole Google Drive with all of their narrow gauge rolling stock, and they, of course, obviously have Sir Handel on there. So I'll be using this to help me mark out where I need to put the lining. I'm probably going to be using one of the two sides. I don't really think it matters which side I use, but I'm just going to use this one because it's the same angle that I'm looking at the Scarloey, Sir Handel. All right, so I need the black paint, which I have right here. And I also have some water to clean the brush, all prepped and ready to go. Probably shake the paint first, just a bit before we get going. And we will be painting, just finishing up the roof and also repainting a bit of the front, which I don't think you guys can see, but I did accidentally paint onto the running board when fixing up the mistakes that I did the last time I painted his roof, the first time I painted his roof. Just pop a little air bubble. And we are now ready to go. I'm just going to move my X-Acto and like a pencil out of the way. We're just going to dip a bit, and we're going to, I should probably brush this off first. Where's my cleaning brush? All right, I'm just going to clean off the roof a bit. Rub away any stubborn bits. All right, cool. What's up, Junction Malfunction? How are we doing? All right, and we are back to painting Sir Handel. Back into the wonderful colors that he has. It's a very calming process, I must say, painting Sir Handel's roof, because it's just a flat surface. I again do apologize for my Bob Ross morning voice. So you're probably going to have to be dealing with this for the majority of the stream because I'm too tired to try and sound awake. It's 6 a.m. Oh, it's 7 a.m. for me. There's a bit of hair that got stuck on his cab roof that I see, so I just want to pluck that off. There we go. All right, now I think a chunk of clay just fell off the tweezers. All right, I'm just going to flatten out the paint so it dries nice and evenly. All right, I think that's looking a whole lot better than the last time. Let's see if we made any mistakes again. I did make a mistake, so that will have to be fixed next time I go out to HQ2. But I do also need to paint the underside of the roof, but that was the only mistake I made, so at least it wasn't terrible. I'm just going to rinse off the brush real quick, so I have the best chance of getting a good line, I guess. I'm also just going to dry off the brush on my pants because that's just water. So I also think I need to do some other bits that are black too. So the roof won't be the only things I'm doing. I need to do this buffer. So let's get the underside of the roof done. All right, that's actually looking pretty good. All right, no problem. Did that pretty smoothly, actually. So why am I live streaming? Is it to celebrate 600 subscribers? No, it's just because some people are now back in school, and I wanted to do a live stream for people who have to go to school, because normally when I stream it's like 11 or 12, and some people are either not in lunch or they're in class, or they are in lunch and they can only stay for a bit. So I'm just doing an early morning stream because I like streaming, because now I'm using StreamYard because I didn't know how to do that. So now I'm just doing this because I want to. This stream is just for anyone who needs to go to school today. If you go look at my channel, you'll see there have been a lot of live streams these past 2 weeks because I finally figured out how to do it. So I'm just here. All right, that's that cab line done. It's such a thin amount of paint, I don't think it's hard to mess up. And if you mess up, paint is not permanent, kids. You can always go back and correct your mistakes, even with paint. If you think you can't, you can. It just takes a few coats, and you are back in business. There's more dust I need to get rid of. But all right, just now the cab line done. There's a bit of dust I need to get off that corner. All right. Let's just get the tweezers, just so I can be a bit more accurate with my pinching. Don't think I can remove it. So you know what? Since it's stuck, you can just simply just paint it into the cab. The paint should stick it down if you did it right. Hopefully they won't come out looking weird, whatever. So I put a lot of paint on the brush, so get rid of that. Make it nice and clean. I think the most frustrating thing about painting the model is always the concern of dust. I don't know why I thought it said concert. Yes, dust is one of the most annoying things with models. But if you use light enough coats, and if you're doing a big coat and you let it dry outside, like most of this blue, like this entire blue is just a primer. It's a primer slash paint. So if you just let that dry outside, it should be fine. And then if you just work in light enough and small enough coats, you shouldn't have to worry too much about dust, because a lot of time paints actually dry a lot faster than you think. Like that coat of black I just put on, like on the roof, it's pretty much like 80% dry already. And I literally just put that on. So if you do light enough coats, paint will dry very, very quickly. All right, now it's time to do edges that are already wearing out, like the cab funnel, because I'm one of those people who just can't help but fiddle with things. So like I tend to like spin him by the funnel. So it's already worn out of paint around the edge of the funnel. So we need to repaint that. But on the buffer, I think it's still a bit blue there. Yeah. And there's also a bunch of like red spots that need to be painted. There's more blue there too. All right, so let's finish up. Where did I just put the brush? Here. Let's finish up with the black first, so we don't need to go back and get it again. That's a lot of paint. So just kind of carefully go around the edge of the funnel. Too much paint there. So let's run that down the funnel, just to spread it out and keep it from plotting up. But I definitely am going to need to get a dry brush and get rid of a lot of that paint there. So let's do that real quick, because again, paint dries a lot faster than you might think under the right circumstances. I just knocked off a screw. No, it was actually a placeholder for an item that I own. But it's not attached to its base anymore, so I don't think I need to worry too much about it. There we go. Now we've gotten rid of all that paint. For some reason, I don't know when this happened, but some of the paint on the on the back of the funnel, facing towards the water tanks, like stacked up. Really weird. Yeah, depending on what paint you use, you can dry in like 2 minutes. I once painted his track Mr. Sampson's buffers black, and they dry within a couple minutes completely. Yeah, it's really interesting what paint can dry. Like I use the Deco Art Americana glass enamels. It's my favorite brand. This is actually still the same black paint that I used for like a majority of like the models that I've painted. So, like any engines I have that have like custom eyes, or like the eyes have been painted, it's been that black. All buffers have been that black. The Edwards running board, the real life Edwards running board, was painted with this black. And somehow the same blue that I use, I think that's it. Yeah, this blue. Still the same bottle that I've used to paint both the Thomas, the E2 Thomas for Charlie, and Edward. And I very much like this blue, but the Michaels that I go to has not had it in stock recently. So I'm still using that same bottle that I got when I used to paint Thomas. And I still really love that coat of blue. So I'm definitely going to be using that blue more for like, Gordon and Thomas and whatever engine needs to be painted blue. Still my favorite brand of blue. And this is my favorite brand of black because it's a nice gloss, so it matches like Bachmann models and whatever. So if you do it right, like Fergus always says, you should be very careful when painting. You can get it to look just as good as you want it to. There's a bit of blue on this buffer too. There we go. That's all fixed. And I think that might be, oh no, it's not. It's not all the black fixed. I think I still have enough paint on the brush to do this. There's just a bit of blue showing through. There's a difficult place to get to. but we got there in the end. Due to that of the apple barrel. Yeah, I do prefer this brand because I have a different brand of red. I don't know where it is. It's probably one of these bags. But it does not stick that well. Because while it is a gloss, it's not like the Americana gloss enamels. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's definitely somewhere down here. Is that it? It is it. Here, it's a Craftsmart multi-surface. Some people do recommend this brand, but if you're using gloss enamels, it does not like it. I tried to paint Edward's running board with it, and it did not stick very well. So I have a new red, which isn't gloss, unfortunately, but I think it still looks good, and that's the red that I used for Sir Handel's running board. And the only reason I need it to stick well is because of the fact that if I use that other brand, you would be able to see the blue through the red because Sir Handel was completely primed with the blue. He was primed with the black and then primed again with the blue. So I have pictures of both black and blue, totally Sir Handel. Let me just show you this. This brand is Folk Art acrylic. Color is lipstick red. I think it actually doesn't really look that bad, honestly, on the model. It's not gloss, but it does look good. All right. There we go. One thing with acrylic paints is that when you shake them up, sometimes air bubbles get stuck at the top. So if you think you're painting with the paint, because it's all up here, chances are it's probably just a trapped air bubble. So always do it from the cap, because when you shake it up, you definitely get a good amount of paint in the cap, and it is indeed good enough to use. So I will get a bit of red, and I will start fixing up the bits that need some fixing. Sometimes a bit on the buffers when you're painting the buffers black. Sometimes that gets covered over, so you want to be careful there when painting over. Of course, I need to do now another coat of red on the ends of the buffer beam to get a nice solid spit, to get a nice solid color across the whole thing. Sometimes this paint does need multiple coats, but it eventually hides it. So I think it's a good paint. I just painted on the buffer, the coupling, but I did not actually paint on it. So we are living. All right, we're doing pretty fine so far. We're just gonna wait for it to dry. So we're gonna do matte colors for running boards and chassis. I'm gonna use gloss for the boiler, smoke box, tender, bunker, cab wheels, and making things pop. I think that's fair. Yeah, because sometimes like running boards get all like dirty and sooty, so sometimes they don't shine as much as like the boiler would, because the boiler is always cleaned and made to look proper. So I think that's a fair use of gloss to matte. To be honest, I really don't think anyone's going to notice that this is gloss, that the blue is gloss and the black is gloss, and then this is matte. And if anyone does notice, I really don't think I would care about their comment, because this is my model. All right, so I found out where the dust is coming from, and it's sticking from the napkin that I'm using. So now there's like dust getting stuck on the model because I'm resting it on this napkin, which is very annoying because the napkin is there to keep the model clean. In fact, it's making it dirtier. All right, there we go. Let's repaint the buffers. The buffers always need love. Never forget the buffers. They always need attention. All right, there we go. That should have been enough time for the paint to dry over here. So you can now once again cover up on there. I'm also just covering up areas that annoyed me the first time going around, like the buffers. The buffers definitely need more coats than the other ones, than the other parts of the running board. So, oh, great. I just painted onto the onto the running board. So that's another thing that needs to be fixed up tomorrow. I think that's fine. That's just a bit of a lip. All right. That's another buffer done. Now, real life, it's all gloss, but for model making, you'll have to give the effect that the footplate is dirty and the rest of the engine, while would still be dirty in real life, the boiler will shine. The boiler will always shine. Because that is one thing you always want to be sure to clean, is the boiler and the smoke box. So not only do you want to make the railway look presentable, but it also gives them... You also don't want to see the running board as much as you see the boiler. All right. I think we're looking pretty good. Before the stream ends, I do at least... Oh my god, so much dust is just coming off onto the buffers. I think we need a different napkin, because I think this is just a tissue. I'm going to get a napkin instead. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I just got some paper towels to replace the tissue. I'm just going to put some handle on it right now. I have to see. I don't even know when this happened. But I think if I do try, I could probably get that off without scratching the table, possibly. Just going to pop that there and pop this here with a bunch of stuff. Ugh, it's a bit wide, but we'll get there eventually. Oh, God. It's like pinching it at like a wrong angle. Okay, no, it's not what we want. It's not what we need. All right, there we go. I'm just going to put this back on the thing. Haha, he's gone. Time to take over. Oh, crap. Oh, crap, indeed. Hold up. I'm going to pull up the picture again. Give me 1 second. Does the stream show up on the... No, it doesn't show up on the studio. So I need to go to my channel through YouTube. Right. I'm still just kind of letting the paint dry. I definitely need to do the backside, though. Here we go. I'm still just... All right. There we go. I feel like I should try talking normally instead of using my morning voice, but nah. Just tear the paper towel in half. I could tear the paper towel in half, but I don't feel like doing that. And that's on laziness. All right, back to painting. Plus, it also gives me like more like working surface. Because my working space is already small enough as it is. So it's nice to have a bit more stuff. I just painted the coupler, which is annoying because it's black. So I need to repaint the black. Which means I need to get the black out again. All right. And for some reason, the frickin' buffers just don't know how to stay red. They just keep fading through. Very annoying buffers. I have painted you 100 times. Yet you choose to stay clear, transparent. How dare you? Don't. Be careful when using paper cups, kids. Because, again, they're paper cups. They're not meant to last. Like paper straws. Stupid. I hope the stream isn't like boring anyone. Aren't the buffers supposed to be black? Yes, you now are admin boy. The buffers are supposed to be black, but the buffer housings are supposed to be red. I should have specified the buffer housings. There's a hair literally sitting inside the coupling hook, and I just find that hilarious. I didn't even get it. It's stuck into the paint. So I need to tweeze it out. Got you, yeah. When I woke up this morning, the first thing I thought was, man, I want to listen to Ain't Got Rhythm. So, no, I didn't. That wasn't the first thing I thought. It was because the first thing that, oh, yeah, sure. There. It's not as clear, obviously, as the light here. Maybe I can like do it with my flashlight on my phone. Oh, that's the wrong button. That button. There. There we go. I can actually kind of see him. So, try to get a good light. There you go. You can kind of see it now. It's looking nice and clear. Roof's painted. All nice and black. The only mistake so far is just that one bit on the front of the cab that you can kind of see. But that's about the only mistake so far. Oh, and a bit on the running board too. A bit of red on the running board. So I woke up and the first video that was recommended to me was a cover of Ain't Got Rhythm. So I was like, man, I want to watch the actual song now. And that's what I did. The first two videos I watched this morning were Ain't Got Rhythm. Now, time for something very special. I grabbed this water last night, tangent. I grabbed this water last night because I was thirsty, and I filled it with ice to keep it cold. And my room, I turned my air conditioner all the way up. So my room was so cold last night. My room would get so cold every night that if I grab a room temperature bottle of water, the room temperature drops enough to actually keep the water cold. All right. Yeah, the hair. I forgot about the hair. It's such a minute, minuscule hair that I actually completely forgot about it because you actually can't even see it from top down. Now, the special thing I want to do is I want to do the thing. I want to learn how to use Vox transfers. So I'm going to put the bottle of water, cleaning water, off to the side, and I will grab the instructions, which are somewhere over here. Okay, here we go. So there is also an important instruction right here, which I want to just read first because I saw it yesterday and I read it, so I just want to. Okay, so the important deal that the transfers came in says, to aid transfer flexibility, we recommend that you add a drop of washing up liquid to the water, which we advise to be hot but not boiling, in addition to following the other application instructions printed on the packaging folder. Please be aware that transfer releases can vary dramatically from seconds to minutes in some cases. Fox Transfers strongly recommend that once applied, all transfers are varnished to protect them. Fox Transfers only use, recommend, and sell varnishes by Phoenix Precision and Rail Match only. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to use a varnish on the model. Instructions who need them. People who want to make models properly the first time. I have not done this with any other model. I have never, ever done transfers. I've only ever hand-painted lining. And these are much smoother, and I want to learn how to do it. Now, I never ever wanted to use Sir Handel as a test model for things. That's why I first started with Duncan instead of Sir Handel. But Sir Handel is really quickly becoming one of my favorite narrow gauge characters just because I'm working on him and because I've always wanted to have a nice model of him. So I started painting Duncan first, and obviously I messed up royally on Duncan, which is why I waited to use Sir Handel and to use primer and spray paint for him. So I will be getting a new Duncan print to make a new Duncan. That being as long as Bachman doesn't make a Duncan. All right, so step 1, ensure the surface onto which you intend to apply the transfer is clean and grease/dust free. The surface should preferably be of a gloss finish. Perfect. He is a gloss finish. Second, cut the transfer from the sheet, allowing a margin around the image. Do not cut into the printed image unless you are deliberately reducing the area of transfer to be applied, e.g. cutting lining down to size, either depthways or lengthways. Immerse the transfer in a saucer or trough, all right, in a saucer or trough of warm water for a period of time. Please be aware that transfer release times can vary dramatically from seconds or minutes, or in some cases. The container of water should preferably be large enough to accommodate the full flat transfer. Owing to modified chemistry, we now recommend that you add a drop of washing up liquid to the warm water. The transfer will initially curl up and then partly flatten out. Test whether the transfer has become detached from the backing sheet by a gentle pressure with a finger. Use warm water, not hot, not cold, and you're giving me conflicting information. So on the instructions, it says warm water, not hot, not cold. But then this important instruction says hot but not boiling. So when I read this, I just assume just turn on the hot tab. But then when I read this, I read it as, like mix the two tabs to have a bit of cold and hot water, so it makes a nice warm water. So what do you want, Fox? Fox News? What do you want? I should probably just cut first the section that I want. Woohoo, confusing instructions. I'm assuming they mean hot just because the important instruction came separate from these instructions, because that folds off and then you get the actual instructions. So I'm assuming that this is new and they just want to leave this as it is. So this is just a new instruction that they're doing. So I'm assuming they want it to be hot. That's what I'm assuming. By the way, the stream's only going to be going on for 20 more minutes because I feel like people are still going to be going to school. Does it say specific temperature? No, it does not say specific temperature. Let's see if I all right. Oh, hi, Spencer. All right, so I'm assuming it wants hot water with soap. I'm sorry, washing up liquid. So dish soap. Dish soap. Why can I say Irish wristwatch, but I can't say dish soap? Someone explain that to me. How I can say Irish wristwatch, but I can't say dish soap. Oh, now I can. Someone explain that to me. All right, so. But these instructions say use warm water, not hot, not cold, and certainly not of boiling temperature. All right, so since this looks new, because this is important, I'm about to start school in 10 minutes, gasp. So I'm going to just get a paper plate because paper is my only friend. And I'm going to fill it with hot water and a drop of dish soap. So I will be back because of political correctness. I don't know, lol. So I'm going to cut this out first. I'm going to cut out a length that I think looks right. Because I certainly cannot get a correct length. Yeah, I'm just going to take from the top. Yeah, that's fine. Although technically this is the top. So I guess I'll take from this top? Sure, I'll take from this top. My throat is very dry, and it's not a nice feeling. Go away. All right, so I don't really know the exact length I need, so I'm really just kind of guesstimating here. So I'm just going to take a strip. I don't know how I'm going to cut this on a paper towel. Vicer handle. Am I going to be cutting it into wood? Yes. Handle standing there like, yeah, he's about to get destroyed. You're fine. All right, we're just going to drag the exact... Oh, getting a bit too close to that other lining there, buddy. I want to save that for Edward. See, if you do it too short, it's not going to look right. But if you do it too long, then you run the risk of having to cut it on the body. And I think this looks right, but I'm going to add a bit more. Because I feel much better about cutting a transfer once it's on the body than adding onto it. cut that free. All right, there's a transfer. I'm just going to do a quick length check. Sir Handel, where'd you go? There you are. My beautiful baby boy. My beautiful baby boy. How low down? It goes like all the way down to the bottom. My God. All right, like there, I guess. Oh, that is so much more than I need. Yeah, that's way more than I need. So, honestly, when I said I could have stopped, I still had more lining. Beep, beep, beep. Hi, Terrier 43, Gypsy Hill. Yeah, I'm just going to cut off of this end. And I'm going to cut that. It looks like there's a peak of a hill there. So I'm going to cut there. I think that should be enough. Nope, don't bend the transfer mat. There we go. Cut free. Not well, but cut free nonetheless. I also just kind of ripped the transfer. I probably shouldn't have done that. All right, now let's just double check the length just to make sure it looks good. Perfect. So now with 15 minutes left, I shall go and get the water on a paper plate. That's a good idea. I have returned. I cannot tell you how carefully I am walking because I decided, oh, let me get the smaller paper plate. It might fit better anywhere that I put it. And while it will, it's still a small lip and a better chance of spilling freaking everywhere. Now, it's only dish soap and water, so I'm fine with putting it on my bed. But oh, bye, Spencer. I get to rule the stream all by myself. No, you don't. I have returneth. And now I place the Fox transfer into the dish soap, and I'm just going to tease it down with that. All right. It's now sitting at the bottom. We now have Sir Handel. It's time to move on to the next step while I let it fully separate. Oh, I gotta wait for it to, soak in. All right. So We're now here. I want to at least get one line onto Sir Handel. So I'm excited, honestly. By the way, in case any of you were wondering, I don't think any of you are, but this is the reference photo that I'm using of Sir Handel. It was taken by Thomas Tank Merch. It is on their free to use narrow gauge reference sheet folder. I think once this stream goes up, I will try and link it into the description if any of you want to try it for yourself. All right, so it's said to see if the lining has released, press gently with your finger. Oh, it's released. It has released. Oh, that was a weird feeling. It was like slimy. All right, so I'm going to grab it with the back of the X-Acto, and I'm going to just lay it onto Sir Handel. Probably should have grabbed it by the tip. All right. I'm going to lay down Sir Handel. This is scary. Come on. Lay down. Come on. There we go. I definitely bent it with the knife, which is probably a bad thing. So let's tease it. No, you were drying in the wrong place. I guess we're doing this by hand. I think I need some water on this. All right, there we go. That did nothing. Nothing at all. Whoa, okay, that did way too much pulling. It's also in the wrong spot. Can I tease it with the back of the knife again? You know, what'd you do over the quarantine? Oh, I just, grabbed lining with the knife. Now she's doing a jig. Ah, my God, this is really, not going my way. But you know what? I think once I get this, it'll be worth it. Although I think it's already dried over there, which might be a problem. No, it didn't. Okay. Y'all, I think I did it. Just about. I think I just about did it. I'm still not fully dried over here on this side. I'm going to get a bit more water on the paintbrush. Just to kind of, soak it up a bit. Okay, lining has once again freed itself from the body. Which means I can tease it a bit more with my hand. Right. Oh. Very sensitive now. I think that might be it. Oh, pulled it a bit too far again. I think that's it. It may not be 100% straight. for my first lining, I think I got it down. Just gonna let the water kind of dry a bit. Y'all, it's not 100% in the same spot. Wouldn't it just be easier to use pinstriping or paint markers? Technically, this is pinstriping. This is what Fox Transfers is for. That's for lining. But paint markers, I probably could, but that would require a very steady hand. And as you can see, you can't even see it. As you can see, if I can do this right, it is a very, very thin line. So it's not 100% in the right place. It could be like a millimeter over. But you know what? I'm incredibly impressed that even worked in the first place. So with 5 minutes left, I think I'm just going to let this sit and dry. It's a very thin line. This is, I forget what it was. Can I look at my train? Can I look at my, does it say here? I don't think it would say here. Hi, Typical Thomas. You came at the worst time because I'm going to end this stream in about 5 minutes. Can I see it on my order history? Or like my emails or something? Here it is. Fox Transfers. Can I see what my order was? This is 0.35 millimeters. That's how thin that line is. And once I get this down, I will indeed be using this on the real life Edward. There we go. It dried up. Oh, wow, that's really nice. It curves just a teeny bit, but it's so not that noticeable that I don't think anyone's going to notice. So that might be my only pet peeve, but since I don't ever plan to varnish this, I can probably always re-wet it in the future and just pull it over to the side. So yeah, that's her handle. Although, you know what? I might just do it in the last 4 minutes that we have left. I'm just gonna, still warm, right? It's already cold. That's a shame. I mean, I think it should still work, right? I just kind of wet it. Like, is it loose now? Can I do it? Can I do the thing? Yeah, I can do the thing. I just want to move the line over. Oh, too far over. Well, I don't know how that even happened. How did it go backwards? Could use a bit more water. Just going to put the water directly on my finger, just so I can do that. Oh no. Didn't think about that. I'm just trying to grab some of the water back. There's now just water just smeared all over the tank. All right, there's 2 minutes left. I can do this. How far over does it need to be? Gasp. I think it's right. Not anymore. This is very stretchy. And how far down does it need to be? That side looks about right. Whoa, wrong way. I may have cut off a bit too little, but I don't think it's going to be enough to affect the lining. All right. So, a bit more water just to straighten out the line. Right there. Just want to go do. Oh, there's a clump now. There's a clump of air that I can use to kind of pull it that way. To people who don't know what transfers are, this would probably look super weird. I'm just manipulating paint. That's literally what it looks like. It looks like I'm just like manipulating paint with my hand. All right. I think that's just about as straight as I can get it. It's not 100% straight, but it's also not 100% curvy. So thank you guys for watching. All right. And I'm going to end the stream now anyway. So goodbye, Terrier43 Gypsy Hill. Goodbye, Typical Thomas, if you are still here. And goodbye, Junction Malfunction. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Before we leave, here's one last look at Sir Handle. I know you really can't see the lining because of how thin it is, but it's there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.